What is going on YouTube? Hit Mac making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, XLM, as well as the S&P 500. As you guys know, we do a different cryptocurrency here on the channel every single week with your guys' help. And on that note, we are going to still be doing our crypto coin display giveaway. As you guys can see here on the screen, this is pretty much what it looks like right here. And I am giving out one of these every single week for May. So if you want to enter to win one of these, it's completely free to enter. All you have to do is make sure to comment, subscribe down below, and your favorite crypto to be entered. Do those two steps and make sure you're subscribed, as I will be checking, and you'll get a chance to win one of these bad boys right here. I am doing the drawing on Saturday, so make sure to stick around for Saturday's episode to see if you've won one of these giveaways, and then, email me over. But otherwise, moving into what we have to talk about in today's video. As we know, moving forward, markets have seen some pretty insane movements across the board. Coin market cap is pretty much still recovering slightly from the major dumpage that we had yesterday. A lot of cryptocurrencies went to some pretty freaking low levels. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, we saw XRP take a massive dump. We saw Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies take a massive reversal. Now, as we were talking about it, we did find some key support levels in these cryptocurrencies that we were using to help kind of better gauge where we would move to. But ultimately, I do, kind of want to talk about a few things, and I do have a funny story. Also, guys, today's video is sponsored by Safer Moon, so if you are interested in learning a little bit more about potentially a better cryptocurrency than SafeMoon, definitely stick around till the end of today's episode, as it might be something you're interested in. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to follow us over on Patreon, as we have over 1,200 people in our community talking about cryptocurrency and just everything under the sun. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. All right, so where do we begin, guys? There's a lot to talk about. Starting off, top 10 cryptocurrencies, things are looking okay. We did expect to see a small recovery. I talked about the ripple effect in yesterday's video. For the most part, we were talking about the major reversal that happened. We were seeing major drops in price. Now, we were using support levels to kind of gauge where we could be falling to. I was mentioning, a little bit as $1.28 might be a support level. Granted, I was making the video at 7:30 a.m., but we pulled back down our moving average right here. A lot of things were unexpected. We had a lot of whales selling off. We also had a lot of whales buying in. But ultimately, we were going to be using these key strong support here, which was anticipated, just as a means of holding ourselves, in order to move forward. Now, what was interesting, too, is a lot of these cryptos fell to either some sort of moving average or support level where we wicked below it and then came back up. Ethereum, as you can see, came back down to its bottom support. Bitcoin broke through it, which was anticipated, fell to its bottom support at about $30,000, which you can see is right around here where this line is drawn. And then we have XLM, which looks okay, actually, and was anticipated. So XLM, yesterday, we made that video. We talked about the stair-step pattern that was forming. And we figured that even if this major correction hits, there's still this higher low formation that's probably going to hold fairly well. So even though we reversed downwards and continued to fall down to 29 cents, we immediately recovered back up to 48 cents. And, things do look like, especially for XLM, that we want to head up higher. So very interesting. Moving forward, I had a funny story I wanted to tell you guys that I thought might interest you. So just the other day, I believe it was, what was today? Thursday. So maybe Tuesday night, I was actually selling some cryptocurrency, moving things around. I do leave crypto, some of it in USDT, as a stable token just to keep prices kind of flatline there. And then I transferred to different exchanges to, withdraw some money. What was funny is I actually put some into Chainlink and forgot that I had put it in to transfer it out. And what was funny is it was like $8,000, just a big number to put into it. And then I woke up the next day and was like, oh crap, I forgot to, withdraw my money and, convert it to fiat, whatever the case may be. And when I came back and looked at it, we're looking at $5,800 now. So it was a very funny, time that we had, especially because I don't really withdraw that much over the courses of a couple months, maybe every so often. And I just happened to do it on that day. And then the morning of, we crash 30% across the board. And I literally watched it. So talk about terrible timing, very funny. But otherwise, moving forward into the video, you guys can see also we are recovering from, right now from XRP on the bottom support here. Now, honestly, across the board, I do think we are going to see a smaller recovery. I honestly think we're probably going to still continue to move in the direction that we want. I don't think this is going to really interrupt that much stuff. I do believe we're probably going to be heading up a slight bit higher. As to all-time highs, I'm not entirely sure about. As of right now, a lot of people across the board are up in the air. We have a ton of people that think this is it. It's over with, and now cryptocurrency is going to pretty much go all the way back down to bottom. And then we have a lot of other people that consider this to just be, a small reversal, big whale selling off, and it's just a way for them to buy in more crypto in order for the prices to explode even higher. So there's a lot of people all across the board making, general analysis of the way the markets are moving. Ultimately, I want to give you guys my experience and my talk about kind of how I expect this market to continue to move to. So right now, we did just hit our bottom support, and it seems like that's kind of where it's moving to for the rest of the cryptos. I did say yesterday, I'm not going to be touching any of these cryptocurrencies until I see some sort of consolidation. And honestly, if you wanted to make a short-term scalp, honestly, buying in at bottom support here does seem to be a viable option. I said the same thing for XLM yesterday. Honestly, I might just play it a little more aggressive in today's video and actually purchase at these bottom supports at the moving averages here. So honestly, if you bought in anywhere below here, it was extremely volatile, but you could have probably gotten in at a good price. 83 cents to $1.16 is, or $1.22 is a big run in price. So if you bought it below the moving average, that's a good buying opportunity. Obviously create a stop loss, but we are heading up even higher, which looks really nice. And I do think we're going to continue to use not only the moving averages for most of these cryptos, but the support levels to actually gauge ourselves and move us back up. So I do think, based on the way these charts are forming, granted we don't have that much on here, there is still a downtrend. I do believe immediately after these major dumps in price, we're probably going to see that ripple effect like I've talked about, and prices should probably start to tinker back up. Now we do have resistance on XRP capped at around $1.27, although I do think we're probably going to in the next couple of days retest that. But it was necessary for us to come back down to the moving average. This has been a time where we have been floating above the moving average literally since like March of 2021. So the fact that we're finally coming back down to retest this just gains us some support. And even if we don't break through this resistance, which would be good, we'll still be moving in the positive direction and higher than where we need to be. But honestly, what are we going to look for now? Obviously, if you did buy in right now, or you're going to be buying in, that might be an option to buy in at these bottom supports. There are other cryptocurrencies to look at. A lot of people are buying the dip right now. Some people didn't short this. It's a possibility. I didn't. I was staying out of major corrections and dips like this. But a lot of people are buying at the bottom right here as we are hitting the moving averages. So this might be another opportunity for people to buy in at bottom support here, anticipating the run to the upside. Now this is short term. No one knows right now, as though it does reference back in 2018 the major reversal to the downside from 20K to like 8K. But it is showing signs that even in a bear market, we still have these flips. We can still flip upwards and correct down. But, short term, we can capitalize on the run in price. Now, I do think that we are still going to be slowly moving back up short term. I do think these are good buying opportunities, not only for XRP, Ethereum as well. I'd be very shocked if Ethereum manages to break through its moving averages across the board. I mean, this is something that we haven't, retested since all the way back in probably 2020. And the fact is we finally come back down to regain support. I don't think it's going to be breaking through here on the first retest, and I do think prices are going to either flow down on here or eventually rise back up as people are going to be buying this dip. It is holding support very well, and I do think that after major dumps that we're seeing, recovery to the upside in the next week or two, although it's probably going to take a little bit longer than the dump did, it should be slowly heading back into the right direction. So short term, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Bitcoin is the only one that was kind of worrisome. We did see major reversals. That's usually how these play out. Just because we had a major dump doesn't mean we're going to close at rock bottom. It usually just, free falls to some sort of support, bounces off that and shoots back up, which is kind of what we're doing. But ultimately now Bitcoin does have resistance at $40,000. That's its next, resistance level. And if we can break through that, hopefully we'll be able to move back up to retest its moving average. Now it is trading undervalued, Bitcoin, over the other cryptos. Most of the cryptos are overvalued, retesting support. Bitcoin actually broke through its moving average, falling to the downside. And at some point or another, probably within the next couple of weeks, we should be able to move back up closer to about $50,000 if things continue to rise. I do think we're going to come back up and retest this downtrend right here. But as expected, there is still a major bearish divergence on the coin, which to me, I think long term that we are still in a bear market for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I mean, this bearish divergence was enough for me to say, okay, guys, we just flipped right here back in April, mid-April, and this was the top. I pretty much was fairly certain that we were now going to start to create lower high formations, and that's pretty much what we've been doing over and over again. But flash crashes like this usually have some pretty big reversals back to the upside immediately after. Another great coin to buy would be XLM. I just think it looks great. Now, I'm no financial advisor, so take my advice with a grain of salt, but I personally plan on buying into XLM right now because this to me looks undervalued. I don't know about you, but seeing these stair-stepping patterns every time we retest top resistance, there's a big crash to the downside, which is exactly what's happening now. The great thing is we, as expected, immediately crashed below here and immediately reversed back up and closed the daily above its moving average as well as the support level. So when looking at something like this, the fact that each time we've retested this bottom support multiple times, it's always had a positive recovery afterwards. So personally, I do plan on buying this dip, and I do plan on putting into XLM as well as, well, I'm already in Chainlink because of that, but into XLM and a few other cryptocurrencies and hopefully riding that puppy right back to the upside. Otherwise, and lastly, looking at the S&P 500, as you guys can clearly see, we are still at the bottom here. It's interesting that when the crypto market decides to pull to the downside, so does the S&P 500. Very ironic, very odd, but hopefully it is regaining some sort of bottom support and it is regaining some sort of better relative strength indicator that will allow us to move up higher, because long term or short term, that's really where I keep a lot of money into, because it just, as a long-term investment is more stable than other cryptocurrencies or any cryptocurrencies at that matter. Otherwise, let's get it on with today's sponsor. I'm going to give a huge shout out to SaferMoon for sponsoring today's episode. As I'm sure by now everyone in the crypto space has heard of SafeMoon, this token promised safe rewards for investors who drove SafeMoon's market cap over $4.5 billion in April of 2021. However, SafeMoon's market cap has since lost half its value after reports related to its lack of security for its users and poorly received live stream. The Twitter user War on Rugs, who keeps an eye on securities for ruggability of different crypto projects, commented the SafeMoon creator could pull LP and sell tokens, creating a rag pull. This has led some users to wonder how safe they really are with SafeMoon. BSC's rapid growth has opened the doors for my raid scams. Investors are eager to grow their portfolios, and nefarious individuals are just as eager to take advantage. Every time a project is manipulated by its creator, it hurts the entire BSC ecosystem. So now, recognizing SafeMoon's shortfalls and the risks in the BSC ecosystem as a whole, a group of longtime crypto investors and developers came together to launch a new token that aims to chart a secure path that other projects can follow. So here enters SaferMoon, the tagline of which it's like SafeMoon but actually safe. They decided to launch a Safer Moon as a direct response to SafeMoon's fatal shortcomings. More than that, they wanted to define the roadmap for security launching a project. This means helping creators audit their code and launch their projects with honest marketing while ensuring investors' safety by teaching the BSC community what questions to ask about new projects. The SaferMoon token offers the same benefits of SafeMoon but with less risk. For example, the developers wrote the smart contract to ensure that all liquidity, which is generated via a 5% transaction fee, is sent to a dead wallet. No one can access or remove it. All contract functions that can change the contract state variables are time-locked, so no one can make changes without warning. And max limits prevent transaction fees from being arbitrarily raised. An audit which can be found on SaferMoon's website, it discusses many more changes that increases SaferMoon's security. Their goal isn't to compete with SafeMoon, but to offer a fundamentally different investment opportunity. Utility beyond quick gains for investors will benefit from BSC community over the coming months and years. The SaferMoon contracts allow for the addition of pools, which will enable SaferMoon holders to stake their tokens to earn third-party tokens. A launchpad feature will also allow other tokens to launch using the SaferMoon team's security technology. These are expanded upon the SaferMoon's roadmap, as you can see here. A developer at SaferMoon gave his opinion of the situation, saying that SafeMoon is a fad that will be a blip in the beginning of BSC's history. On the other hand, SaferMoon will help evolve BSC by offering a more mature product that investors can trust. SaferMoon is available currently on PancakeSwap by using the link down below. As always, do your own research and never invest more than you can afford into any project. With that being said, let's jump into the technical analysis.